young people in the Caribbean and give youths a platform to contribute to the solutions for climate change and health. You are not too young to inspire climate and health action.
It's Thursday, August 31, 2023. We are Island Tea here with my boy, AZ. What's up?
Hey, morning to everybody. I just want to say a wonderful morning to everyone. It's the last day of August. Wow, it has been quite a year so far. So many things have happened. We have so many things happening still. And I can't believe just yesterday I was thinking to myself and I said, look how 2023 is almost over, because technically tomorrow is September. Well, it is. And then we have October, then November, then December. By the time it's December, we're wrapping up the year and we are looking forward to another year.
Yeah.
Wow. Time has quickly flown away this year, I find. Like many years, things are just going at a really intense speed. And so I want to shout out those persons out there listening to the program this morning. I want to say to you, I hope that you have a wonderful day, regardless of what you may be going through. This is the last day in August for those persons who, doing whatever checks they need to do for the last day in August, whatever they are doing to look forward to the month of September. We know school is opening soon. We have next week.
Monday, actually.
Children will be back on the road. I mean, the road has been traffic has been kind of intense still because of the number of vehicles, but the number of persons on the road during this time, in terms of on the streets walking, the students have been, dramatically almost next to nothing.
Nowhere like when school is open.
Nowhere like when
sure.
school is open.
Yeah.
When school is open and everyone is rushing with his or her child to try to get to school, and these children are trying to get to school. It's just like a whole buzz around the 8 o'clock period, 8:30 period as well.
Well, listen, you know how nice it is to come in here or leave here and there's not noise across the street and kids to maneuver around and and wondering if that ball they're playing with might just hit my head.
Yes.
Or hit my car.
I was thinking car
like
first
that,
when he was thinking about that,
So
So it is the last day of August, and I just want the thought. Let's give God thanks for such a beautiful day. Let's give God thanks for bringing us through such just another day, because many persons haven't made it to this day this year, and as we look at the number of persons who have left us, we ponder on our own mortality, and we just have to give thanks for the life that we have.
And the list is very sobering. Melly, Earl Clark, Rudy Morton, what's his name? Oswald Elliott.
When I think about
all these people,
my former classmate, Miss Laws, when I think about Miss Hector who has taught me, when I think about Mr. Morton who has just passed, when I think about Mrs. Farrier from Sandy Point.
Miss Farrier passed?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. She used to teach me.
So sympathies to the family, sympathies to her husband, friends, loved ones, she was married to...
So to be clear, that's Steve's mom, right?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So see, that's what I wanted to be
not
sure.
that one. This one is from Sandy Point. She was married to Mr. Farrier, Calvin Farrier, who was the chief secretary and also cabinet secretary.
Well, that's the same one. Steve Farrier that works at TDC.
Yeah, I don't think that one is his mom, though. We could discuss it off here.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about...
she's dark, right?
No, this one is a bit fair, brownish. She's from Sandy Point.
I know,
yeah.
but...
I know, because then I had the perhaps we could discuss it off.
Well,
Well,
the point being, all these people that we know,
Yeah.
And
It's
you know,
really it's really telling, and it shows that, life is fragile, life is unexpected. You don't know what you're gonna get, and you just have to keep pushing, you have to keep going, you just have to continue, because no matter what you're going through, I read something yesterday, and it says, there will always be obstacles. In life there will always be obstacles. But it's how we react to them, and it's how we deal with them. Because it's not going to be perfect along the way. It's not a
did,
perfect life for us.
did you just do a sneaky Forrest Gump impression?
I thought about, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh Lord. And now as I think about that, I remember watching that movie with my aunt, and she passed away last year, 2022. Yeah, Avis Douglas, yeah. And
Oh,
I remember watching that movie with her,
yeah, I used to work with her.
Yeah, you told me. I
Yeah.
remember watching that movie I remember when I was a child watching that movie, and I remember when we would talk about the movie. So yeah,
Yeah.
so life goes on, and the memories of your loved ones still remain, and it's good to have those memories. It's good to
Yeah.
have those memories. So yes, as you were saying, school is opening next week on Monday, and there have been discussions, and there are a number of persons, when you're on the radio, persons tend to discuss matters with you and try to try to get their views out, because not everyone has the capacity, the avenue, or maybe sometimes they're in a position to speak. And so some of the educators will have had some of these concerns. And it's a list. It says, the HERE policy was not discussed or adopted by principals. So it seemed like there was no buy-in prior to when, the HERE policy was, it's going to be implemented. But a lot of the educators have been saying that, there was no prior discussion before. It seemed like a top-down approach.
So what else is new?
Some of the educators are also saying that the schools don't have desks, chairs, or some facilities are not working. Some bathrooms are without roofs. Or without roof.
Bathrooms without roofs?
Yeah, this is what some of the educators are saying. So others are saying that, the resources are absent, and they don't know when they're going to receive any supplies like toilet papers and markers. Also, too, the minister said that they are outfitting school labs at the moment with devices. And someone asked the question, which school is he referring to? None of these schools are saying it is happening. Another one is that none of the promises made have been delivered. Teachers have to still write prep. No allowance for teachers. No new deal. Nothing. Another one is that teachers are being shifted left, right, and center without any real justification, just to promote. And it says here that the perception is that they're promoting, fellow supporters. So what they're doing is shifting around individuals within two different schools without any reason or justification. Another point that was made is that there's no real distribution timeline when the government spoke about the one-to-one laptop initiative, but there is no real timeline given as to when these will be given out. And these points, I'm not in the school system, so I'm in the sense that I'm not a teacher from the 8 to 4 kind of, with these realities. I mean, I do lecture as an adjunct at the college, but I'm not into the system, so these are concerns that some teachers would have raised. And number 6 to me is kind of telling, because I do support the appointments of persons who have worked hard. I think that if you work hard, you should be appointed, you should be placed in the position that you are once you work hard. And so I say congratulations to those who have been appointed, but at the same time, I saw that some of the supporters of the Labour Party would have indicated, it's our time now, good to see our people moving up. And I thought to myself, when you're in the civil service, it should be for everybody. Your hard work should be The only reason for me, I think, I may know how others think, should be the basis on which you're promoted. And so it shouldn't just be because you support the Labour Party, or the perception is you support the Labour Party and so you're promoted. I think it should be once you work, once you deserve it, and with any party that only promotes its supporters to the detriment of somebody, to other persons, that should be something that's not encouraged. And so when I think about that point that has been made, I think about people being shifted left, right, and center. And my hope is that, when persons are shifted, that is justified, and it's not just because of a political maneuvering. And of course, these could be just allegations, but let's not even have the perception that that is what is happening. And supporters of parties should be very careful in the words in which they utter, because it might not be the reality. But if someone hears and sees a supporter echoing those words, then they begin to think, and just on that thought, it becomes a perception.
But here's something that happens. I've heard these stories secondhand all the time. Take for example, a government wins. It might not even be just after they win. It could be just during any old term, and the government facilitates someone who may or may not support them. I mean, the person might be nominally maybe from that supports another party. The person may or may not have voted for that the government that ended up helping them, right? And then you hear grumblings from the supporters of the ruling party saying, "Oh, they're helping those people there before they help us." Now, why can't it be that maybe those ministers were thinking, we really need to try and just look at people as St. Kitts citizens first, rather than what party they're back, and this person maybe didn't even vote for me, but he legitimately needs help. Well, yeah, he legitimately needs help, and I'm going to help him. And then the party supporters see that, and you know what happens. So what happens in that case?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very ticklish situation dealing with party supporters and dealing with government and having to strike the balance between both. But I think at the end of the day,
and to be honest, those kind of I mean, I understand there's blame to go around. This is a kind of toxic tradition that's been going on for decades. But at the same time, I hate to hear people talking, "Oh, they're helping people who back the other side." That stuff drives me crazy. Couldn't it be that maybe the minister or ministers were really trying to change things? Everybody can't get help at the same time. If someone happens to back the other party, we're all St. Kitts citizens first. Yeah. I don't understand why people can't get that. Now, obviously, if it's a situation where maybe the facilitating minister, there's clear evidence of something fishy going on, where okay, well, how come he's helping this person who backs the other party over us? But you see how much political maturation we need to do.
And I think it's difficult too, because the reality is that we live in a very small country.
Yeah,
we live in 50,000 people. We are, the representatives, the ministers are accessible to the public very easily, and the expectation is high. And there are persons, and it goes on in a cycle, because there are persons, when your party isn't in power, that you feel as though you're in the wilderness for this amount of time. Even though you're a citizen, you feel as though you're in the wilderness. And so that anticipation that when your party wins, now you're out of the wilderness, so to speak. And so now it's your turn now to strike. And so it goes on over and over and again, because it's a rapid cycle. Those persons who waited 20 years now got the chance now. Those persons who waited 7 years now got the chance now.
That stuff drives
so
me
it's
crazy.
Just a cycle that continues until someone is there to break the chain or break the cycle.
That stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah.
No one should be feeling that they're in whatever this proverbial wilderness because the party that they don't support is in power.
And then at the same time, you wonder. Sometimes you see most of the most intelligent persons, they leave the country because they're able to survive outside better, because they're not affected as much by the the political structure that we have here. And it's a very fine line, and it's very ticklish thing to deal with. It's not very easy. I must say.
You really think that these politicians think about practical things like brain drain and so on when they're set out to line their pockets and do all the other things that they do when they get in power and get back at people because I have the handle now and all this stuff. These guys don't care about this stuff. I mean, take for example, look at the housing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Various people, including me, have spoken about the fact that you need to have a mix of housing that utilizes the vertical, right? Rather than building this urban sprawl. Or you said 2,400 houses. What are you going to do? Build 24. And they keep releasing things and still haven't heard anything. It's like this weird cognitive dissonance that goes on with them. They know what the right thing is to do, but they still won't do it. And that applies to not only that, but everything.
But if you look at it too, even the very timelines that they gave, and this is the problem that I find might have happened, it's the situation where they, without consultation, make some decisions, a major decision, the 2,400 houses, no consultation whatsoever, no looking at whether or not the people would like these designs. We just made the contract and we're going to make 600, we're going to build 600 every year. We're going to have, at the end of the time, 2,400 houses. Then you bring it to the people after making the decision. The people said, no, we don't like the houses. The houses look ugly. Take it back. We don't want those. No, they go back to the drawing line. They make the changes. The houses do look better now. I must admit, they do look better now.
But still,
having look at the changes.
But still no apartment buildings.
Yes, no apartment buildings. And look at it now, the deadline.
No townhouses.
It has now moved from June, which was promised, which understandably has to move from June because now changes have been made. Now goes down to September. September is now tomorrow. Let's see if it's going to be done in September.
Yes.
You see? And it's not a situation where you're criticizing, because sometimes people say you're just criticizing for criticizing sake, but you're looking at the approach and you're saying consultation would help first. You understand? It would make things a lot more easier if you consult before making decisions that would affect a large majority of people.
This is certainly not criticizing for criticizing sake. These are valid. These are valid, legit grosses that we're discussing here. Right?
Yeah, because when I thought about 2,400, that's a major project. I mean, it's a once handled well, it would be good. Once handled well,
yeah.
But then major considerations like which lots are available. Major consideration as to
how about the land use?
The land use as well.
The thing I mentioned to what's his name? Troy.
Yes. And it's so many different things that one has to consider that, that it was it considered, or was it given adequate thought, because this is a program that you roll out in less than a year and still based on your timelines haven't been met. So the timeline is going to be September going to come and then nothing happens. So we just have to look and see and try not to just promise for promise sake, but to try to consider whether or not these things are realistic. We have a caller. Caller, you're live on Island T.
Okay, let's hope the person calls back. Caller, we await your call, so call us back. But yeah, I mean, you see, people talk about these things and they know what needs to be done, but they refuse to do it. At least that's the way it seems. Yeah. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Azard.
Good morning, Jamdang. What's up?
And I'm glad for you touching a point there. Because you victim at the port. And me, years ago, 25 hours from the port, half from Sandy Point, were victimized by a labor administration. And it's hard to see from 96, from 81 to 96, never miss a day on a job yet. Always loyal to your work. Never go down Social Security, go fake you're sick. That's how you were into the job as youngsters. And an administration come there and in the name of politics, take a petitions work. Job with the Market Street, properly. Man, it's so much. Memkins, it's so much to mention. Rex from Sandy Point, Smarlax from Old Road. They call him Harris. Oh my God. And this, something gonna do, the bam bam gonna stop it. The bam bam gonna stop that. Because we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. And when people vote for politicians to do a very good job and they come with the nastiness and turning away people in the name of politics, you got to stop somewhere. Hear me this morning. Listen to me. Tupac. I don't blame Robert Bratcher for it, you know. Because Bratcher is a politician. Was allowed by the people. And Bratcher dropped the ball by and bringing the people them together and say, look, you all these kitchens. All you come together, the rank must done with in Bastille. And as he continues, dog I am dog. Blessed love.
Okay.
Thank you so
Jamdong.
much, Jamdong. Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Of course, we welcome all those persons who want to share, who wish to share. I mean, we would have different opinions on different things, and it's always good to share, to hear from you, to hear what you have to say on the matters as the matters come. The numbers are 466-0989. Caller.
Hello, good morning, Azard, and your guest there, yeah. Happy Thursday.
I'm a guest now. I'm a guest, really. Really
It's
now.
Jamster. It's Jamster here. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
morning.
Jamster. Morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Yes.
Yes, I listened to the story, yes, but Jam don't realize that this thing will never stop because it seems as though, like, you know, they say, oh, me want to do too now. Remember me vote to you now. And, you know, you got to give me a thing. And he said, well, is he coming back with this party? We make some promising last year, and, you know, we think it's really going to be different. They bring him back so much. People resign. I don't think for them, let them do something else. You know, give young people a chance, you know, people out there still in need of a work, people who run behind them. And so I don't know what they're doing it, though. But they're doing it. They're bringing back these retire people. You don't need all of that. Hey, they're reading an article a while ago and this person done everything and knows this and knows that and CFB. You know, and they push it back in themselves and they don't get in this amount of 1,000. Now they're going to go get 14. Man, they need to come better. I don't even know they're getting this recycling thing. People out there fresh want, you know? Yeah, let's fit in and get something to do. As Jamdong said, this thing will not, like, is a recycling, it won't stop. I don't know why they won't stop it, trying out people and then the people they must go. I don't know how to get Dubai. Up to 2 months ago, I reading something of this person sending out the people of PLP because they were in there from PLP and the person was ramping and raging, saying, man, you shouldn't do it to everybody girl be on waiver. You know, 'cause everybody needs to live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, caller.
Yeah,
okay.
you need to come better than that. It's just a whole habit, you hear?
We have another
Okay.
caller.
No. Okay.
Thank you, caller, for
I
your
wanted-
contribution.
I wanted to discuss this this story from St. Vincent.
No
concerning-
problem.
You know, we'd heard about we'd heard some murmurings about a new airline that was maybe in the process of being discussed, proposed, which would be based. And now we're hearing that it was.
Oh, before we do
might
that,
be, yeah.
let's just apologies on behalf of Candisie.
Candy,
Yeah,
yeah.
she
She
won't
had
be
to
able
go
to
out,
make
yeah.
it. She has another engagement this morning, and so she says her love and appreciation, but she couldn't be here this morning. So we want to say, you know, all the best to her as
Yes,
she goes through the day.
yeah.
today.
Have a great day.
Yes,
Hydrate.
indeed. Now your story.
Yeah. So So PM Gonzalez in
Yes.
St. Vincent is proposing St. Vincent be the home for a new regional airline. So he said here that the prospective proprietors of the airline may potentially consist of the governments of the OECS. And he said that he didn't want to say more until they got down in the technical weeds, and maybe sorted everything out. So it looks like at least this looks like we're gonna stop doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So maybe we're gonna try something different and work towards a different, better result. So this, I'm cautiously excited about this. If this can get off the ground. Of course, Antigua is part of the OECS. We'll see if this gets off the ground. We'll see. You smiling. You'll see if Gangston
Antigua,
wants to be part of this.
That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, and I still haven't heard. I hear a lot of people complaining about Inter-Caribbean. We still haven't really been told definitively what all the shortcomings are. I would really like to know.
I mean, they won Caribbean's leading cabin crew at
Really?
the tourism. Remember we discussed it 2 days ago. Yeah,
I guess they're really chipper. I don't know.
But I mean, what would be the difference? This and Liat.
Well, it wouldn't be Liat.
Well, that's one thing. And
that in itself is a whole,
Yes, but I will see how it goes, because isn't Antigua in discussion to have their own brand of airlines again?
Antigua Airways.
Yeah. So
with but then but I don't know. Oh, which is majority Nigerian owned.
So, I mean, it should be interesting, because as Antigua's position should be very. It will be interesting to see Antigua's position on this.
Yeah. I mean, you would think that he might say, "Oh, the more the merrier." He might say that with hollow conviction, really strewing at the fact that, rather than invest in Liat, they want to go set up their own thing.
Hello.
Hey, go ahead.
What's up? Good morning, Carlo.
I say you all in studying me, boy.
No,
Good
you're
morning.
here. Good
Hey, what's
morning.
up?
How you doing?
Yeah. And the candy in there, yes, sir.
No, she had an engagement.
Candy sound real nice. Anyway, candy is sweet, eh?
Yes.
Hey, you get in line.
And you got pop songs about them. As sweet as candy and all of that. Anyway,
Okay.
you got Candy Statham.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yamster, you said something a little earlier about the politicians are accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like to put a bracket around that, because they're accessible to who they want to be accessible to. Even you when you're partying, they make everybody feel nice when they're campaigning. And then when you want them for something more personal reason, ain't nothing going to take an hour, 2 hours. Maybe just a 10, 20 minutes, but you got to see them. They ain't want to see you. They tell the secretary them, and they just step out. They'll be back in some kind of time. You never catch them. All of that's still going on. The permanent secretary them, you can't see them. You just step out. They are always stepping out. They never say they're stepping in. Stepping out. You can't catch them. They know you personally. They can't stop, pull up by you and talk with you. But when they campaigning, they do that and more.
Yeah.
Dr. Simmons, you could have seen, especially if you were like somebody who didn't know in the party, your party worker, so you ain't had to set no appointment for Dr. Simmons and Michael Powell and one or two others. You could see them. You could see them on demand. I could say that. There are others during the period, and up to now, you can't see them. You got to make appointments. And some they don't get the appointment until maybe a week, 2 weeks, and all them foolishness. And they know you and think it's small. So you got to be careful when you say on demand. Even though they got constituency meetings here and there, they don't always be there.
I don't know if you misunderstood or misheard what I said earlier. I didn't say.
Hello?
I said, I don't know if you misunderstood or misheard what I said. I don't think I spoke directly to what you're discussing.
No, I was talking about them being more accessible than because of the
yes.
small size. So it really was me who said the thing
okay.
about the accessibility due to small size.
I think I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah.
But I elaborated.
Yeah, you're elaborating. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did not misunderstood you. 'Cause I ain't gonna talk about why you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. No.
Anyway, you all mentioned something about the large project to build 2,400 homes.
Yes.
You know, the speed in which that was conceptualized, I have a big problem with it. Because if you say you're in this 25, and you want to feed your people, you want to do more agriculture and all of that, where the land come from? All the land you're going to use to build these homes, agricultural land. And you got to be careful with the speed in which you withdraw that amount of land, because you can't build houses without land. You can't do business without land.
Okay.
Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. These are the factors of production.
Okay,
So
caller.
nobody
Yeah.
can fool me with that. I know that is a fact.
Okay, we have another call.
Okay.
Caller, go right ahead.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution. Do call in if you have the chance again.
Yeah. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning, man. How you guys doing?
Yes. good morning.
Be brief because we have to go to a break. Go ahead.
Okay. I remember you guys was talking about an issue about the voucher for the school kids, whether
Yes.
public as opposed to private.
Yes.
And I wanted to throw out something similarly. Another mention was made of the government proposed to sell lands to people who went away to college and coming back for $1 per square foot, but yet still the common man, is having a hard time. Like, the rate for the common man just seems to be up to like $7, $8, $9, $10 per square foot. I don't know if you guys have any knowledge of this. And concerning the CBI program, we know that program been around since 1983 or something like that.
Yeah,
And
1980s.
there is not much transparency with that program. We know the new government, they're talking about all this transparency and all these intangibles, but yet still they don't want to bring the figures forward. But recently we have heard that Grenada has now put some information out, statistics as to how much passports they sold and how much money they have raked in their program. And the Prime Minister here in St. Kitts and Nevis, when he's asked that question, they don't want to bring the figures forward because, they don't want the people to know, like, how much money has been raked in over all these years. From my perspective, we need to get that transparency because when they bring that transparency forward, then we will be able to figure stuff out. But to me, in my opinion, they have raked in so much money over the years in that program that St. Kitts and Nevis needs to be in a better state, man. There needs to be in a better state. There got to be some accountability for that money. But, I listen after the year, and you guys have a good day, man.
Okay. He makes a good point.
Yeah. Thank you. The dollar discussion, or when you talk about the dollar per square foot, I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we
caller.
have to look into that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. Be brief.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I look like you all cut me off, man.
Well, we had another call, so I had
Anyway.
to go to the other call. This is why
Hello?
I said we had another call and we had to go to the other call.
Yeah, but other people talk for 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Yes, because
Anyway,
because
Not to
they
belabor the point. but-
no, wait, because there are no other calls. But when there are calls, I want to cycle through the calls.
Maybe we're talking foolishness then, but what I want you all to do,
Go ahead.
that program there with the house building, you all need to discuss it plenty. The country need to discuss that because it's anything with land is a serious matter. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay,
Good.
all right.
Thank you
good.
for your contribution, caller, and thank you for calling back.
Good.
We appreciate your
so
your
he can
call
be
and
brief.
your input.
Oh, that was brief and to the point. I would like to see more of this, callers. That was great, actually.
And again, I think the point Jamsa is making is that if there's no other caller, then persons have the opportunity to talk longer. But if there are other
Exactly.
callers, then we
Yeah.
have to cut it down.
Exactly.
So.
Let's have another caller. Caller, please be brief. We have to go to a break.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
let me brief.
Hey,
Good
yeah.
morning, gentlemen.
Good
Okay.
morning, Culture. How are you?
I'm good. Now, in the Federation, we have a Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we have a Prime Minister, and we have, marijuana, the Medicinal Marijuana Committee was formed under unity government. Well, why should the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, Gus St. Vincent, find himself in the marijuana field, taking picture, when he have a committee to go and see about medicinal marijuana, and we have a Minister of Foreign Affairs? Why them they never go on that trip? Why he had to go? Why he so anxious to go in there and he deal with the marijuana? And the next thing, the last thing about that, how many ounces a person allowed to walk with? Who knows if he coming back here with any, and he will come back with the amount of ounces that each individual should have. Thank you very much. I hope that was brief enough.
Okay. Yeah, that was good.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a quick break and come back. It's 8:37. Island Tea continues right after this.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Need more ways to win cash? Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery today. Spend as low as $1 on each game and you can become our next winner. Spend more and win up to $4,000 with Pick 3 or up to $40,000 with Pick 4. Visit thecaribbeanlottery.com for how to play and to see daily draw results. Remember, Pick 3 and Pick 4 each give you 12 chances daily to win. So join the winning team. Over $3 million EC dollars paid out in Pick 3 and Pick 4 so far this year. Play today at any Caribbean Lottery agent island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play.
Enjoy your summer with the Bank of Nevis Limited. It's that time, and the bank has the perfect summer loan package for you. Take a vacation, enjoy a staycation, advance yourself academically, or prepare your children for back to school. It's your choice with up to $30,000 unsecured loan with an attractive low interest rate. Additionally, up to 5 years to repay. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Offer ends September 30th, 2023. Bond strong.
Attention, all shoppers and music lovers. Join us in celebrating Horsewood's Nevis Center's 30th anniversary midday mass celebration. It's a celebration like no other. Happening this Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. Get ready to shop till you drop with a whopping 30% off store-wide. And that's not all. You could be the lucky winner of amazing prizes in our incredible giveaway. Shoppers, get ready for fantastic surprises. As the clock strikes midday, the party heats up with the electrifying core band featuring Deli Rang, Speedy, X-Man, DJ Bobby, and more. Feel the rhythm, feel the vibe. Dance, sway, and groove to the beat while you indulge in mouth-watering treats and refreshing drinks. The celebration is on fire, as you won't want to miss a second of it. Mark your calendar. This Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. The celebration kicks off at 8 a.m. and the unforgettable midday mass celebration starts at 12 noon sharp. Portsmouth's Nevis Center's 30th anniversary midday mass celebration. Be there and be part of the excitement.
8:40. If you're not good at math, that's 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes to the hour of 9.
Having a frog riot in my throat.
I thought there might have been like, that was a part of the jam.
Whatever, man.
So, we have some other articles on the WINNFM page that we could, just have a brief discussion on if persons and to update persons and some other things that are going on. If you look at it, there was an interesting article I find which says that major crimes see small dip in 2023 compared to the same period in 2022, according to recent shared stats. And that's an article by Kevin Brown of WINNFM that says that the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has shared crime statistics for major crimes in the Federation for 2020, 2021, 2022, and up to June 2023. And it says that the police force has classified the major crimes in the following categories. So the murder, manslaughter, shooting with intent, wounding, attempted murder, other bodily harm crimes, sex crimes, and that's like rape, indecent assault, break-ins, larcenies, robberies, firearm and ammunition, possession and smuggling, drugs, possession, trafficking, importation, and cultivation, malicious damage, and other. And that goes on to say, when comparing the stats for the first 2 quarters, January to June, over the 4 years, so they are looking just between January and June, between those 4 years, I guess because they're comparing it with 2023, January to June, and they would need a grace period in which to compile this data. So I'm guessing that they did it during July, August period to give us this. So they looked at January and June. Or it could be that they're just looking at that a quarterly basis, and these are the first 2 quarters that finish. So when looking at it, it says that in 2020, the total major crime stood at 474. The same period in 2021 saw a 52.74 increase to 724 major crimes. There was a less than 1% increase in 2022 and 2023, and 9.3% decrease in major crimes. Crimes of note: larcenies in 2020 were 127 from January to June. The same period in 2021 saw a 111 increase. So they are saying that larceny increased over 100% from 2020 to the 2021 period. That's crazy. And and then from 2021 increase, so they're saying that increased to 269, and a further 6.3% increase in 2023. So they're saying that there is a 19% decrease in larceny between the period, and you're looking at January and June, if we were to look at it from last year. So there has been a decrease in larceny. They say the sex crimes now in 2020, the first 2 quarters were 27, decreased by 11% in 2021, increased by 16% in 2022, and a more significant jump in 2023. The major crimes that has been on the minds of the people of the Federation, however, is murder, which currently stands at 19. And they're saying in 2020, there were 6 murders in the first 2 quarters, which decreased by 33% during the same period in 2021, and stayed the same in 2022 at 4 murders from January to June. By June 2023, the Federation saw 17 people murdered, a stark 325% increase compared to the same period over the previous year. So basically what they're saying is that if we're going to look at the January to June period, that's half a year, because they're not looking at the stats past June. They're just looking at the first half of the year, and they're comparing the first half of the year to other halves of the years from 2020 to 2023.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, so they're saying that larceny went up, but I think the reason why we're feeling it feels like 2023 is so major is because of the murder rate. Because, it has been, that alone has been, from last year, 325% increase.
In a weird way, when you have a lot of capital crimes, it's like it takes the focus off the other serious crimes that happen. And we tend to focus, because you're talking about a life
Yeah.
Compared to a guy maybe getting $500 stolen, which but I get it.
So I think that the fact that we have experienced 17 persons being murdered between January and June, compared to 4 during the compared to 4 in the same period last year. And that is what is telling, even though they are saying that the other crimes have been decreased.
Gone down,
And I guess overall, when they put it together, it seems like a small drop, but no one is going to forget what is,
But then when you start itemizing it now, you realize, man, 19 murders compared to 4 last year. Yeah, overall numbers down, but still not good, because people are dead.
Yep.
Caller, go right ahead.
Greetings, IT.
Hey,
Greetings.
It's a serious conclusion you just come to, Not good at all. We just hear a sound to a bridging call and say, concerning the CBI. I saw it name now? CBI?
Yeah.
Okay. The bridging say, they don't want us to know what amount of money in the kitty. That's a serious sound. That's a very serious sound because of the passport. So if we know everything about that running there, everything about that running there, if we know. And if the information is not forthcoming as it ought, then people will speculate. And sometimes it don't necessarily mean it's mere speculation. Something can go so. What they must say. So we hope them and those whom it concern is taking note and letting and let the people know them to up them information apparatus and make people know what people ought to know. Yeah. But this is our passport. And the money is there to circulate amongst we, the owners of the passport, the rightful owners of the passport. Yeah?
Yeah.
In for that. Man has said something yesterday, I think yesterday, concerning people coming in and capturing work. It's happening, and we had a personal experience concerning that. Although we wasn't into it, me I tell you, it's not pretty, There's a certain business place, food outlet that is, in the heart of Bastia, where we used to go there because we used to patronize the place. We go there and we see the need for the outside, the front of the place to be kept clean. Because it's always dirty. And we go there voluntarily and clean the place. We do it mornings after morning. Because we don't boom everything, We don't shovel everything, Okay. One of the time we stop do it. And here why we stop. One of the time we didn't carry no broom. So we had to go inside of the business place for broom. And when we went inside, when we went to the back of the place, we see something that turn us off. Because as we say, it's a food outlet. It's food they're dealing with. We see something that turn us off. So we stop do the cleaning and we stop patronize the place. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, we see them have a Spanish lady. Yeah? The same thing what we used to do. Yeah?
Yes.
No one contact me and say, X, we intend to blah, blah, boom, boom. You are 15. No one say none to me. No more than we see a foreign lady do it.
I mean, no say she get pay.
Mm-hmm.
That is to show you the kind of mentality. Now, this establishment, this place here, is running from the eyes there, my knee. You know what we were in Jamaica, you know what I mean when they say the eyes there, your knee?
No, go ahead. Oh, say the eyes.
Me know this business place
Yeah.
since them progenitor around it. Since me eyes there, my knee. Since me little then.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Yeah. Since me little, me know this business place. And me and my family patronize this business place since me little.
Mm-hmm.
My mother sent me to go buy. My
Okay.
father sent me to go buy. And other relatives.
Mm-hmm.
No. That same business place is owned by people who supposed to be kitchens. From them time till this time. And you see the mentality, they employ someone, you know, to do what I start to do voluntarily. And no one think it's small and everybody know. As a matter of fact, everybody's supposed to know me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Nobody contact me and say blah, blah, boom, boom. I'm repeating it. But we see somebody there clean. What I used to do voluntarily without even a perk. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the mentality. So when me and manners have said that, the meditation move forward there, so. So me have to share it. It's not pretty. And this thing need to stop. Because if they don't stop, it's going to cause bam. Blessed love.
Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your input. Thank you for sharing.
What a bam.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I kid, but yeah,
it's
serious
really-
stuff still, you know.
Yeah, really serious things.
Let's go back to the phones.
Yeah.
Island T, you're on.
Yes, I'm so agree with the idea just now. You hear that? You were voluntary doing it, you know. And down there, and call him several. Call him there and ask him, get some information from him.
Mm-hmm.
And we set up something that he could continue doing. That ain't right. He ain't really want to talk no violence stuff, but he really got to, that don't just come to his head because that's going to look funny.
Yeah.
If I doing it voluntary free, but me won't pay now. Call me now and pay me. Since I was doing it, why you got to give it to somebody else? That's a mindset. You see? We're losing this year every day. The manners from this state, Sonny Boy and the manners here. That's what we're talking about. And culture and them. That ain't right. The boy guy go there now once a man and they give me authority to do it. And he break out a thing then so he ignorant. Oh, he know better than that and he should have no better. No. That is not right. Give him and the work him and we're doing it voluntarily for free. So give him now, where I want. Let me touch on this before I go now. I sit down there by the bridge again there by below Corey. The bridge down under the sink again, he will want clean out. You want a little bobcat go down there to the bottom of the sea and dig it on. Nobody gone back again. We used to talk about that there a lot, in the 2015 and so, and it was started to clean. It dropped right back down again to ground zero. Oh, but there, I don't understand what this country. That's the same thing I say. Too much of mayhem. You Caesar belongs to Caesar, man, and Paul belongs to Paul. All this silliness they're doing in government. And so much of thing pop up everything. Where we be, I got pop up. We got a puppet government or we got a real government. There's too much look cartoonish, you know. It's every day you see Bugs Bunny and Godzilla and where him. Where he named again. Well, like to watch a lot. Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
We need to do this silliness and be real. And next thing again, they need to put a dumpster. Turn around people as a. Turn around a dumpster for people things to move like an old fridge. And an old bed also. Instead of just Christmas time. It don't happen in Antigua.
Oh, people's also pay for that, though.
If I got something now I don't want it, I won't put it out and look gone. Them need to set up that there was stuff. Lord, I know you're bright and all, and I don't want to say with some backward, but, you know, no common sense. We need to move to things about, you know, every day. And we don't try to call a pick up and tell you $60, $70, $80 and so. They need to get down to this thing. When they're going in the eat off our tax bill, me look them. They let them play with me on a tree something, me pay for this amount of phone on this house, me, you know, tax, you know. Ain't no rent, you know, tax, me. Where that they gone for nothing? I just so gallant and playing, going back on that. I beg them lively up, you know. Come up, man, pull up. That's what we put you there for. Every day we must come repeat. They ain't gonna learn. We need to do these things. Keep your country clean. Stop saying when we walk through, we smell stinking, this and stinking, that, and we don't used to get that there when we never had no big tourism business, nothing. Only sugar cane we had. And we don't used to smell all these things passing through Candisie. Got to hold your breath sometime. I beg you, please.
Okay.
Man, I beg you, wake up. Wake up, man. Wake up.
Okay, caller.
Thank you, caller. Yeah, we are supposed to be having at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we're supposed to be having a community group. The community group from Newtown. And they're supposed to be here to share with us, the members of the Newtown Festival Committee, with the Newtown Fest calendar of events. So we have that at 9. So, I mean...
Well, let's take... we got 3 minutes until 9.
Yeah.
We have a call coming in. Let's
no
see.
problem.
Caller, can you be brief? Go right ahead.
Few minutes, okay. Newtown Festival Committee. And Newtown the barn, you know. Newtown stink and dirty.
Oh, gosh.
We're not clean Newtown. We're not clean Newtown. Drop to the alley them. Walk on George Street and the drain them. We're not clean up Newtown. We're not talk about festival and food competition and all kind of thing. We're not nasty, man. We're not clean up Newtown. We're not make Newtown be the model community for cleanliness in a basket. Eh? We're not just a talk and a go around all kind of circles. Past administration, present administration. Nasty. Eh? We're not clean up your tongue. And make the people them stop litter. The Spanish them and who born you. We're not do it. And we keep echoing about the right places than the right places, you know. You see this same establishment what we just talked about? The proprietor for that establishment, you know, what make that kind of error, what we just talked about, you know, that kind of irresponsible move, them have him as part of the cannabis industry. They have that person as part of the cannabis industry. So when you see the kind of mindset, the kind of mentality them got round here, putting in position, it's going to cause a bam-bam. It's going to cause big bam-bam. Me, for one, never take no foolishness on here, you know. And me soon stop talking now. And anytime me stop talking is action. Member.
Okay.
Thank you for...
Yeah, that's Eli.
Your views, yeah.
Pretty...
Yeah, very frustrated.
Pretty passionate, huh?
Yeah, passionate as well.
So,
wow.
Okay, so, yeah, we're supposed to have the Newtown people at 9. So let me... Yeah, it's 1 minute to 9, so let me get the commercial out of the way, and then we can just chat until they show up.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Buildings damaged by an earthquake are dangerous. This is not the time for sightseeing. You could be in personal danger, and your presence could hamper emergency responses. Also, stay away from areas prone to landslides, low-lying coastal areas, lakes and streams that lead to the ocean. Do not head for the coast until local authorities tell you that the danger of a tsunami has passed. Curiosity can kill.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WINNFM.
Enjoy your summer with the Bank of Nevis Limited. It's that time, and the bank has the perfect summer loan package for you. Take a vacation, enjoy a staycation, advance yourself academically, or prepare your children for back to school. It's your choice with up to $30,000 unsecured loan with an attractive low interest rate. Additionally, up to 5 years to repay. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Offer ends September 30th, 2023. Bond strong.
And we're back. It's 1 minute after 9 o'clock, and as AZ said, we are awaiting the arrival of the some members of the Newtown Fest organizing committee. So as soon as that happens,
we will go into that discussion. But some other things that are happening, and we look at the daycare in Nevis, and it is said that the NIA approved daycare assistance subsidy program for families in need. And this is another article that is found on WINNFM by Yolanda Weeks. And it says that the Nevis Island administration will take on the responsibility of assisting families with the payment of daycare fees, said Premier of Nevis, Honorable Matt Brantley, during his August 29th press conference. And so he goes on to say, and he's quoted by saying that this is a program that has been developed coming out of consultations held with the public to seek to assist parents who require financial assistance in terms of daycare and in terms of daycare for their children. It will cater for children who are under the age of 3 and will cater for up to $300 per child per month in terms of voucher system. So it says too that we are limiting it to 2 children per household at this time, but the idea is really born out of a need that was explained to us, and we saw in providing some support for parents, most of them single mothers who are struggling to pay for their care. It is extremely difficult for us to demand of a single parent that he or she needs to go to work to provide for his or her children, but also, he said, it is extremely difficult for us to demand that of a single parent that he or she goes to work to provide for his or her children, but also ensure that those children have proper daycare. And he goes on to say, initially, the Concerned Citizens Movement during the 2022 Nevis Island Assembly election campaign shared a plan to build a government-operated daycare facility. So he said, however, following vigorous consultation, the final consensus was that the NIA would partner with the existing daycare facilities and provide voucher assistance mechanism for families as needed. And you know how, when I thought about this, I thought about the school, the 250 thing, the voucher. And just yesterday I saw persons on the social media saying that it moved from 250 per child to 250 per household. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what persons were saying. That is what information.
250 per household. Okay.
Yeah.
So that could be 1 child. It could be 3.
Yeah, it could be 3. But I think persons initially.
But it's help.
Yeah. You know? I think what was being said first is that it would have been 250 per child. Or that's what was understood.
Yeah.
And I seen persons put up on Facebook and social media that it seemed like it's 250 per household.
I was told that this is going to be rolled out in a way that the government can track exactly what happens with the money. Apparently, they're going to be using JAD. They're going to put the money on. They'll give them a card or whatever. And there are the the sanction outlets that they can go and get this stuff. So that the money can't be abused.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good, actually, that's happening. That have the tools where you can make sure the money goes where it's supposed to be going.
Yeah. They actually had a approved list and a list of places where you can go to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, those places you'll get the payment, you get the electronic payment, and you go and you pay electronically, and the government can track exactly what happens with the money. I think that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, so that it can't be abused. But I like that idea that the premier is doing though. That's because I guess that childcare and daycare in the United States is extremely expensive.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the cost goes into.
Extremely expensive.
When you look at the statistics and what people, yeah. And I could see why though, because those are the times you have to pay so much attention to the children, and those are the times where I think parents would be more willing to pay for an ease. I mean, when a child is 6, 7, let's say 8, 9, you feel as though you could leave it for a little hours and nothing happen. But when a child is really young, you don't want to.
You can't do that.
Yeah. So it's the constant care and attention that is required.
And it's good that you addressed, because I was wondering, when I had heard it announced, I remember thinking, oh, do they have I didn't realize there was a government-owned facility, but then they said, no, they're just going to partner with the existing.
They were hoping to have a government-owned facility, daycare, which now that they said
I'm
that.
actually surprised. So not even one? No, that I think about it. Because we have one in each district down here.
More or less, yeah. Which is really...
More or less, yeah.
Which is... You say it, I never considered about him saying that. I'm like, well, they don't.
But then, I mean, the population is smaller, maybe, and then if you have, let's say, people who step up, saw the need and did it, they might not. Maybe there's not a good, a good reason for them to go and spend that money when maybe.
And then perhaps someone or many persons have seen the need, and that has been a place in which the private sector has blossomed,
Exactly.
So
it makes sense. It makes sense rather than, because, I mean, let's face it, I mean, the population is much smaller.
Yeah.
You have to go and build this, this big complex with, a playground and all these safety features and state of the art and all. It probably makes more sense to do it the way he's doing it.
I mean, I think it would be cheaper on the parents in the long run, but in terms of the workers, I think, the salaries perhaps might not be as attractive, because then, there'll be a set amount and...
but that's not the government's problem.
Yeah,
so
that's not. Yeah, it's
really
not.
And then again, the parents already have their system in terms of, okay, I'm dropping off, I'm dropping off Johnny up Government Road or down the road there by Brown Hill or whatever it is, right? So they already have the system. So now you're getting a subsidy to assist with that. I think that's good.
But it's all good. It's really surprising that it hasn't. They don't have at least one.
Yeah, but then, as I said, and it could be that they probably had daycare. Yeah, I would imagine there would have been daycare services all along that probably more than made up for the demand and so on. So probably, unlike down here where we have way more kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we have a lot of private daycare.
Yeah, we have a lot of private daycares. I mean, just in my area up there, I could think of like 4. And I'm sure there are more that I don't know about.
Yeah, precisely. Precisely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good assistance for the parents, So trying to look at another article that I saw on WINNFM.
So in the meantime, anyone knowing the whereabouts of the the members of the Newtown Fest organizing committee who are supposed to be making their way here for 9 o'clock? It is now 9:10. You know what that means? There's only 5 minutes left.
So, the Carnival Committee, and this is another article by WINNFM. It says that the Carnival Committee announces EC 500 incentive for the first official Calypso release for Sugar Mass 52. So those persons, anybody who releases the first Calypsonian to release, that's it. And it says that according to the release from the Carnival Committee, to qualify, The song must be released during an official full-length interview on a radio station, either in St. Kitts or Nevis.
Okay.
The Calypsonian must participate in at least one stage of the 2023 St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Senior Calypso Monarch competition, including elimination, semifinals, or finals.
Okay.
Any internet-only releases on online social media streaming platforms will not be recognized as an official release. The chairperson of the Senior Calypso Subcommittee must be notified via telephone or email at least 24 hours before the scheduled time and date of release. After the official release, a copy of the Calypso must be emailed in MP3 format to calypso@skncarnival.com within 48 hours. The email submission should include the names of the Calypsonian, the Calypso, the producer, the release date, and the radio station that facilitated the release. The musical accompaniment for the Calypso must include a fusion of at least 5 of the 3 instruments: drums, percussions, piano, bass guitar, rhythm guitar, brass, strings, lead vocals, synthesizers, and backing vocals. The instrument must be professionally recorded, mixed, and mastered. Submissions for the cash incentive begin on September 1.
So you're considering?
Thinking about it.
I give you. I have a song title name for your lawsuit bacchanal.
Okay, producer.
Let's take a call. Okay, this person they were calling while you were speaking. So yeah, hopefully they'll call back. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Island, you're on.
Yeah, thanks for taking the call. You know, my elders them tell me, there is a nasty environment. Yeah? It begets crosses. You know what the word crosses cover? Crosses. Yeah? Yeah, you mean in Jamaica, me liar brethren there. When they say crosses, what do you mean? When somebody watch somebody and say your crosses, you know. What do you mean?
Trouble.
Alright. All kind of troubles. It include can't keep appointment for 9 o'clock. Yeah?
Boy,
yeah. It includes all that confusion. Yeah? Here, I want to get permission from the author to change the word in the national anthem. Move beauty, oh land of nasty. I'm moving beauty for now. Until it is really beautiful. Yeah? Until the nastiness is not marring the beauty no more. Anytime the anthem is being sung, I'm going to be singing. We are going to be, it's not X alone, you know. We are going to be singing, oh land of nasty. Yeah. Blessed love.
Okay, blessed love. Yeah, and wow, he's really leaning into his Newtown compatriots, huh?
Yeah. It's really something that has really, bothered him. Yeah.
So I just sent you something. I guess we can probably listen that overnight or over the weekend and maybe see if there's anything there. It's from, I'll send you the name of who sent it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. I'm here. I heard the door just slam. So I'm hoping that is someone from the Newtown Fest. But in the meantime, let's take this call.
Yes.
Island T, you're on.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I forgot to mention this. We have a Minister of Agriculture. Why should the Prime Minister override the Minister of Agriculture responsibility and go St. Vincent in the ganja field? The Minister of Agriculture, he should have been there. Remember he said in Parliament, that ganja is actually money and tree. So why he should leave the Minister? That is left to be questioned. Bonus, good morning. Jamnon, good morning. And X, good morning. And my partner in New York, all are you, good morning. Have a good day.
That's a very good observation.
But also, I mean,
Mhm.
he is the prime minister, so I mean, he can everything is his remit, right?
Mm-hmm. But
I understand what he's saying. Maybe maybe the Minister of Agriculture should have been there, but you can't say that the Prime Minister, especially maybe if he was in that neck of the woods, and you can't say that he can't go on. I mean, that's a little culture. I gotta say that's a little ridiculous. He is the Prime Minister. Everything is his remit. Everything that has to do with the St. Kitts government and St. Kitts government policy is his remit. And I'm just being fair and reasonable. That's all I'm doing. I'm not shooting you down or anything. But I think sometimes, like I said, I always say, sometimes you guys can be so unreasonable. He is the Prime Minister. Island T, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
And how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, you're giving God thanks, man. I have a great God.
Yes, indeed.
My journey. Now, I was waiting for them to come let my family chase the people away. I live on Neverson Street East. And my neighbors, they clean their side of the street. A lady used to come and clean. The other day I have to run to the lady because somebody brought me home, you know. And they said, me send me a lot of mass in front of your gate and so, you know. I asked them, has the person been reassigned? And people talk about the drain down below, which I've spoken to. The Africa, you know, Africa who calls in.
Mm-hmm,
Before time, he used to have groups of the men. I don't know if they want the peace. They would clean the drain periodically. So I don't know what happened. And today, the group that is coming. Now, the area I live is called Panside, but everybody said Newtown. And I realized that we are being passed over. They have activities. I would say, well, what happened? Oh, they're having the cookout. They don't come up here and tell people what's going on. Or some of them only go to their supporters.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be careful when we have these constituency groups. They must include people from all the parties and no parties. Otherwise, we're only perpetuating the same story. You understand?
Yeah.
So when they got festival, that party in that party festival. This party in Labor Day. When are we going to mature? Have they turned up yet?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't, no.
Eli won them. Eli.
No, I thought that would quicken their
All right,
step.
then. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
I kind of thought that would quicken their step. And they'd be like, why?
So, Jamster, why you asked why the Prime Minister couldn't go to St. Vincent and discuss the matter? Someone messaged and said, so I guess the PM should go to court instead of the AG.
That again, it's an unreasonable response. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying, ultimately, everything is his remit.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes to visit, so what? I mean, so Biden shouldn't go to visit, he shouldn't go to visit, say, the aftermath of the storm because FEMA has an administrator, or because Florida has a governor. I mean, this is ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? There's some things, there's some things you have to do for reassurance of
Let
the.
me say, I think that if it is, I think the respective minister should be leading the charge in his or her respective ministry.
Yeah, but you shouldn't hold it against him just because he went.
No, but beyond that point, I'm just saying.
I'm just looking at the principle of the thing. He is the prime minister. He is the first minister. Everything is ultimately his remit. The buck stops with him. There's nothing wrong with if he visits the thing. Maybe it could be, maybe Samuel is busy elsewhere. It could also be that he just didn't think to carry Samuel. Whatever the case may be, the thing is he's the prime minister. You don't know. Maybe Samuel will do a follow-up visit, someone from the agriculture department.
So, in reply to that,
I'm just saying
that
y'all,
in relation
y'all
to
are unreasonable.
the comment about the Prime Minister, someone has made the point that the ultimate decision is Cabinet, not PM. Cabinet is the authority.
Yeah, but this person splitting. Obviously, I know that. But we were talking about the Prime Minister.
So, as I was saying, I think that the respective minister should be leading the charge. Of course,
No, I agree.
We
with
don't
you.
know. We don't know.
I agree with you. But
Perhaps
if he goes to visit, I mean, so what? So that makes him a bad person because he visited.
No.
Oh,
It doesn't.
Samuel didn't.
I think
Samuel wasn't there, so he's a bad person.
I think they started from the fact when Culture asked why the Minister of Agriculture wasn't there.
Yeah, but
yes.
I think culture is really hard on them, though. I think. Caller, go ahead.
Caller,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I want to give those to the NIA.
Yes.
With that move they make. You see, government should not be competing with the private sector. You know, and I wish the government in St. Kitts would do the same thing. You know, issue vouchers to these daycares. In that way, the government won't have the overhead of employing people, you know, and paying all these expenses for the employees and light, water.
But caller, I kind of see the daycare system as I don't see it the same way. It's part of the educational system. It takes care of the. I mean, let's face it. The government is the one that sets policy for pre-K. You know, daycare / pre-K schooling and so on. You can't just turn that over to someone who some entrepreneur who decides to open a daycare. I actually think it's a good thing. In this case, I understand. In general terms, what you're saying, I would agree, but I don't agree as far as a daycare preschool system is concerned, because yeah.
So are you saying that, for instance, private schools just out there doing their own thing, they are not following the Ministry of Education?
That's not what I'm saying, but then
no, but it sounds like it's that you're saying.
No. But what I'm saying with kids at those ages that come under the remit of daycare centers and preschools, they are a lot more fragile, a lot more they need a lot more supervision, a lot more care and stuff. And I think it is a good thing that you have government facilities dedicated to making sure that these kids receive state-of-the-art pre-K instruction, supervision, recreation, and so on. But by trained people, and this is where government. There are certain things that you're just not gonna have the private sector do to the level to the level that is going to be acceptable across the board, as far as, especially we're talking about pre-K and all that. I just think that you see what I'm saying, right?
No, but I could appreciate what he's saying as well, and not just on the point of the daycare, because I'm not talking just about point of daycare, but in terms of giving opportunity for the private sector to do certain things.
But the private sector, they have their own, they have their stuff. But you can't. But what I'm saying, what he's saying, this is not something I think you can slap across all avenues of enterprise and say, oh, the government shouldn't get into that. There's certain things that the government has to do, or it's just not going to be done properly. It's just a fact.
You mean like daycare?
Yeah, that's one of the things I feel like.
Don't think that.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't have the private. Obviously, we have the private sector doing it, but I mean, you have all these daycare centers in districts. There's one, the one up there by TDC. I think there's one across from the college, right?
Yeah, but what you're trying to say in relation to them?
Because I'm saying those
laws could be put in place, policies. It doesn't have to be.
No, but I'm saying those don't affect the operation of the. In fact, I would like to think the government. Well, not I like to think the government sets the policy and the guidelines and so on for what should go on in those schools, and the fact that the government, I mean, it's like he's saying, well, the government shouldn't have hospitals either.
A lot of debate.
Or the government shouldn't have schools. I mean, come on. There's certain things that this is, for all the issues we have with government, there are just certain things that the government has to do. There's certain things you just can't leave to the public, sector or the public sector alone.
But
I beg to disagree with you, because the point you is making as if government is the only entity. The point is,
where did I say that?
No. Listen, man. You are giving the impression that these things could only be done by the government. That's not true, because they would have to follow the Ministry of Education guidelines.
But you don't think there was a good reason? You don't think there was a good reason why those facilities were built in all these districts when they were built? And actually, yeah, go ahead. A lot of them were actually built. A lot of them were actually built before. I mean, I was probably too young to know, but I'm assuming a lot of them were built before there was actually a daycare, like a private sector daycare culture here.
But then we have to understand too that certain things would have been put in place here because at one point in time, government was really in charge of a lot of things before the private sector really got up and running.
Exactly.
So certain things would be in place.
It's time to get away from it.
I do. With the point where Jamsa is making, I don't have a problem with government providing services, but it should not be to the point where the private sector is stifled. Because at the end of the day, you don't want government being the only entity that has to carry the burden of employment.
But that's not the case with what we're discussing.
I know, but I think this is what the caller is saying. The point that the caller is saying is to create an environment where you can encourage growth of the private sector. And for me personally, maybe this is a bias, I more believe in small government and more private privatization of resources and stuff like that.
Or you're a Republican now?
I believe in small governments.
So you consider yourself a conservative?
I don't think that
Are you?
I don't think that
you're right of center then.
What I'm trying to say, let me answer the question that you have asked. I don't think in everything that I am strictly conservative or liberal. I think there's a balance between different things.
You sound like me. That's what I said too.
And I think when it comes to government involvement in these kind of things, I think a more guidance more than a
and
hold it and tell you what to do approach.
And maybe pragmatism and common sense focus. Where I think the larger countries, they have this reductionist take on what your political say ideology is supposed to be. It's ridiculous.
Even though I would say based on the party lines
and very restrictive the way they look at left of center, right of center,
that's
right,
but that's a lot in with the Americans.
Ridiculous.
What I was going to say too is I even forgot what I was going to say, but I forgot.
Okay, until you come back. Oh, okay. Hello, caller. Hello. Don't have anyone there. Hey, did you see what happened with Mitch McConnell?
Wait, before you go there, I was going to say that a lot of persons are saying that even the hospital that we're having, and I had a discussion with, someone who is a doctor. Maybe it's time for us to move away from government is running the hospital into a private hospital where you have a board of directors, you have a CEO, you have a CFO, you have the government who would be assisting in terms of
I think you mean like funding. A statutory corporation, maybe.
Yeah, but privatize the hospital. So instead of having a fully government-run hospital responsible for hiring, you have a statutory body which governs the hospital in which we operate, rather than having.
Man, you're a Republican.
But what do persons feel about that?
I bet if I go home, your TV's on Fox News.
No, it's actually.
You turn it on.
It would at the time when I actually had the cable like that. It would have been on CNN.
You sound like a heartless Republican.
I believe that I think that when people are given resources to manage, and you put the right persons in to manage the resources, I think that, pressure is placed, and then they're not thinking politics all the time. They're thinking about what is working, what isn't working.
Yes.
I think in our small country, when you're thinking politics all the time, then it takes away from the input that we could do.
I think, I don't know, maybe I'm not making my points good enough, but I think you all
think about it.
You all are looking at the public sector and the private sector as being at odds. They're not at odds. They complement each other. There's certain things the government has to do, because everything can be profit driven. This is what I'm saying.
What are certain things that the government have to do?
Well, the fire service.
Okay.
The police.
Okay.
The defense force.
Okay. I don't think anyone.
The schools.
Schools, education.
And schools include the daycare center. So I don't understand where you guys getting this stuff.
I don't think the caller was making the point in
but I already
manner.
said in general I agree with him, but I don't agree with him when it comes to daycare centers. Go ahead.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think the private preschool, the kids are way advanced than the government preschool in sense of learning. Why I say that? I could remember a couple of years ago, I had one of my husband's family members came to stay with us, and I would think the child was about 4 going on 5. And the child didn't even, the most they couldn't do was sing the ABC. And if you show the child a letter, he couldn't tell you the letter. He couldn't pick out a number. So I asked him, you go to school, what do they do? They say, we play, we color, and we take, eat, have snack and take a nap. And when I asked, I think a teacher or somebody that teach at one of these preschool, they said they are limited from what they can teach the kids, because they tell them that when they get to kindergarten, if you teach them and it's so fast, the teacher then we don't have nothing to teach them. I was like, what nonsense is that?
And I think the point that makes too, because when you have a private school or a private entity, and Jam says it's not about profit, but it's also productivity. The more you produce, the more persons, because for example, if persons hear that the school is doing well, and that special private school is doing well, more persons will want to carry their children to that school. That could be an incentive for teachers to work even harder, and for them to even get a greater bonus at the end of the year.
But here's the other thing you have to think about. That, okay, she's saying what she said about daycare centers. That might not necessarily be true in all cases. I'm sure there are cases where the government does a lot of the things it does well. But you also
it seems like the government has put from what I got out of the conversation, it's like the teachers are limited. It's like they can't go beyond what the government said. So it's like this child is 4 years going on 5, and she couldn't pick out. She could say A or say B, but tell her pick up letter A, letter B, bite on her butt, and she would know that was letter A or letter B.
Okay. Well,
so all she learned was sing the alphabet. They didn't teach her to recognize the letters and the numbers.
I kind of see what you mean, because I've had first-hand experiences where I thought that some of the approaches in primary school and so, I thought even at that age I thought were wrong. You know, so I kind of see what she means. But
have a good day, guys.
Yes, you too. But
you too. Thank you so much.
But you see, the thing is, here's what I wanted to say. Assuming you have a efficiently run and you have a properly and professionally trained staff, a government component in the economy, let's say in the daycare / pre-K economy, whatever they call it, it's going to be cheaper, for one, because the government is going to try and facilitate people, just like what Mark is doing. Going to try and facilitate people who want good quality daycare for their kids, and they don't want to have to pay the private sector rates. What's wrong with that?
I don't think anyone is saying something is wrong with that, Jamster. But I think what is the concern is that to ensure that the private sector is in a position in which persons could invest in the economy.
But why are you making it a
persons could-
false choice? You saying they complement each other. The private sector is there doing their thing, they're thriving, and the government system has always been there, and it's been improved. The other place is up Victoria Road. I forgot. That was the other one. That's where my son.
No,
That's where my son went.
I'm-
My
I'm-
son went up until he went to.
I'm trying to figure out where we are disagreeing on, because I am saying,
Yeah.
you're saying that, there are certain resources, fine.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I am saying is, and I think what the caller was saying to the point that he was making, is that government shouldn't take a monopoly on the entire thing, to the point that there's no growth.
Yeah, he's saying that, but the government isn't the government. That's not what the government does.
No, but I think he was just making the point that you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying. I don't
But
think that
then
he's
why?
saying that it's
But
being
why?
done.
But why bring it up if the government isn't doing that? This is the point I'm trying to make. But you see what I'm saying?
But
no one ever said it's an either or thing. It's
Let me
a
ask you,
complementary
would you-
thing. I mean,
would you live in a communist state?
no.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Why not? I'd be in the gulag all the time.
Huh?
I would be in the gulag all the time, whatever they call it.
When they tell you what to eat, when to eat it, how much money.
Oh no, we're gonna have a problem.
Okay.
Caller, go right ahead.
I'm just wondering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Albert, because Azard is making the point. This is how you create a small government. Let me show you an example. I used to be living in St. Thomas. When I went there, the Public Works Department was a humongous agency. They used to do simple things as refueling all government vehicles. You want me to tell you what it does today? All the fuel is contracted out to gas stations. You no longer go to Public Works just to get gas. You got a gas card, you go and you fill up, and that's it. So you cut down and create employment out there. And my point is, government do not pay taxes. Private entity pays the tax. That's where you want to create the employment.
But
not setting up the
but caller-
center here and there.
But caller, yeah, you make a good point. But if you're gonna set about taking the axe to government to create smaller, more efficient government, I really don't think if you're a right thinking and even a practical person, I don't think you're gonna start with your daycare system, which is really part of the education system. What are you gonna do? Start closing down schools because you want smaller government?
I'm not. I think you misunderstand what I'm saying here. My point is,
There's a whole bunch of other wasteful areas that you could listen. I am for efficient government, efficiently run government, and so on. But I just feel like there are certain things, assuming that they're efficiently run, there are just certain things that the government does well to do to complement the economy. And I think the daycare thing, I don't know if you're talking in general about smaller government or so. I mean,
My point is,
I have a Republican in here in a powder blue shirt, so he's turning to Republican overnight. Go ahead.
let me say this.
Yeah.
When it comes to daycare is not to teach the children anything. They just need to learn. When they get to primary school, that's where the teaching begins.
I understand.
My point is, there's no need for government to be in that situation. You're saying that these staff in the government daycares is more trained. I disagree with you. That's not true.
Well, I've interacted with some of them because of my son attending the one at Victoria Road, and you can tell. Listen, I've gone on the walks, and there's actually a guy that works there, right? and he's trained in early, what do they call it, early child care education, I think. And he's trained, and you can't tell me that these people are not trained. Because I speak to them, and you can tell based on the things they would tell us. Sometimes I go pick up my son, and he will say, "Oh, so and so, maybe you need to take a look at this or whatever." That's not coming from an untrained. That's not coming from an untrained perspective. I don't think I know these people have certificates, diplomas in early childhood education. But I think we just going round and round. I think we all can agree that we want. I don't like to say smaller necessarily. We want more efficient government. If that means making it smaller, if that's one of the things that's gonna happen, would have to happen probably. Yeah, sure.
Let me say this, and I'm gonna wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Who pays taxes? The government or the private sector?
The private sector. Well, everyone pays taxes. Yeah, so that would include the private sector.
No. Government entities do not pay taxes.
Well, yeah. Of course, government.
You have to create the environment for growth.
Yeah, but I think we're talking about two separate issues in a sense. They were supposed to be here at 9:30. Yeah, so. So it seems as though they might be here now. Caller, we could continue this tomorrow. I think our Newtown people have finally arrived, so we're gonna have to. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for your contribution,
yes,
caller.
Great conversation, of course. Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much.
love. Yeah.
We're gonna take a
break.
break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break and come back and talk to the Newtown Fest. Apparently there's one person is going to be on with us.
You found the sound 98.9
Fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, no full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
When you need better service, Rams is always
It's 9:45. Nice that you could show up. We finally have Kiran Baptiste from the Newtown Fest organizing committee. Good morning, Kiran.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
So tell us what we can expect. Well, tell us about yourself and then tell us what we could expect from the Newtown Festival Committee.
Well, I'm a police officer, first and foremost, and I'm a new member of the East Basia Festival Committee.
Okay. And how has it been so far, being a part of the committee?
Well, it's a bit challenging because I've never been on a committee before, and one to do with entertainment and all of these things is challenging.
Okay then. Well, it's good to have you here, and I mean, for a newcomer, they have really put you on the spot here this morning on radio. So I just want to say, kudos for taking up the opportunity to be here with us. Could you tell us some of the activities, some of the plans that are in store by the committee?
Well, first, give us the window. When is the Newtown Fest going to be held? From when to when? And then you can give us it. Yeah. It's okay. Just relax. Yeah. You look good in green, by the way.
Thank you. Well, the East Festival activities is from Saturday, 2nd September to the 30th of September.
Oh, so full month. Okay.
For one whole month.
Okay.
Wow, no wonder it's quite a wide span. Could you tell us some of the activities?
Well, on Saturday we have a business expo where we showcasing small businesses for people in our community. We will have people on grill. We have food, drinks, makeup artists.
Who's that going to be?
On Newtown Playing Field.
On Newtown Playing Field.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay then. So
we also have entertainment.
Okay then, awesome. So that's the Saturday. So it's going to be a busy day on the Newtown Playfield.
But let me ask you,
from 2 p.m.
If it's a month,
Yes.
how will the? So most of the activities are going to be mostly on the weekend of each week, because if
Yes.
it's like okay. So maybe you can take it like that and tell us. Are you guys having a pageant this year?
No, not this year because of the late start, and there was a change in the committee. We couldn't do the pageant, but hopefully next year.
Okay. I guess you're gonna be jamming and stuff. So give us those dates. Azard is interested in those dates.
You're coming?
Let us know the dates.
Well, as I say, on Saturday we have community food fair and business expo, and then Sunday 3rd we will have a church service. You're invited if you want to come.
Oh, thank
at
you.
the Catholic Church from 8:30. Then Friday, the 8th, we will have our wet fete.
Okay, that's something Jamsa will be interested in going.
Wet fete, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the 16th is our Juve.
Okay. Wet fete then the Juve. So
16. Oh, that's
National
Heroes
Youth
Day.
Day. Okay.
Yes, we have some stuff in between, but we had to take them out.
Okay.
And then on the 19th, which is Independence Day, we have our street parade.
Okay.
We have the troops, and so you're going to join the troop too.
Okay.
So that would be after the military parade, or is it?
The military parade is on September 18th.
Oh, it's gonna be on the 18th.
Yes. So I think sometime in midnight, like around there.
Oh, that's
Go
what they're doing
into
it this
the
year. Into the
Day.
morning. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess Independence Day, you guys have it free, so you could do. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
You know what I thought?
Good.
You know what I thought you were gonna say? I thought you actually thought you were going to say that the military band was going to be part of the. That's what I thought.
Oh
you
no.
were going to say. Oh, okay.
And so after after the street parade, what we have?
We have fishing on the rocks and aquatic and street sports that will be at the Newtown Bay Road, more in the vicinity of the Basia Fisheries.
Okay.
Um,
Which day is that?
that is on Sunday, 24th
Okay.
September.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 30th, we have a community walkthrough, and we will be giving gift baskets to some elderly persons in the community.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds like a packed schedule of events when you consider the time span and the level of activity. How big is the committee?
We have about 8 members.
Okay, wow. That's a good number of activities for 8 member committee.
To be manning.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Yeah, I was wondering. You guys having? You have the agro strip there. You guys have any event that maybe
That will go on the agro strip?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. All right. Just wonder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the activities as we have them, we have Saturday, which is the business expo.
Saturday coming.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, you said that
we have the church service.
The church service on the Sunday. And then after the church service
is the wet fete, which is next Friday, the 8th.
The 8th. And then after that, that's the street parade.
No, the Juve.
The Juve, yeah, the 16th, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I remember the date.
So
that
what?
mean you're interested?
the street parade is the 19th.
Yes.
Okay then.
So what do you guys have planned for, say, the week after Independence, and maybe to wrap up the month? You said the 30th. What are those? What are the plans for those days?
On the 30th is a community walkthrough.
Okay.
And we will be giving out some gift basket as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like to the elderly and
Yes.
and so
Yeah,
on.
she just said that, Jamsa.
Okay, no, I had to go
okay.
outside. Remember, I had to go outside for a minute there,
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yes.
In between, we were supposed to have an 11-a-side football tournament. However, because of circumstances, that will be done in October.
No problem.
But the date is not confirmed as yet.
Awesome. Sounds like a good month.
So who are some of the bands and maybe other entertainers you have booked for? Why are you smiling?
Well, the person for the wet fete, who is doing the wet fete, is not present with me, but he have New Vibes, Small Axe, Grandmasters, a variety.
Okay. All right.
You also have DJs, Hellfire, Sensio, DJ Sikos, Cheap Vibes, EK Akai,
Okay.
and Collision, and the Sack band.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like that's Kiran, Batiste.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what's you didn't tell us what's your actual position on the committee?
I'm just a executive member.
Just an executive member.
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell us who the rest of the committee is?
Well, on the committee, we have our chairperson, Jamila Samuel. We have Nigel Lewis, or Kilroy.
Oh, yeah.
And we have Derek Fifield. We have Cleopatra. We also have Officer Kyle Griot and Les Chad, Cantebori, and Javash de Baptiste.
Okay. All right. So sounds good. So the Newtown Fest for 2023 coming up, and it starts on Saturday and runs until
The
September
30th.
30th. I give you the last word. Yeah. Anything you want to say that you
I just want to say
that
thanks
you
to our
wanna-
sponsors,
Yes?
Hobson Enterprises, First Federal Credit Union, Demerara Distillers, Google Ads, Escrave, Kilroy Clothing, Ministry of Sports and Creative Economy, Valleys, Tents, and One Rascal, and SL Lighting.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes, I want to say thank you for coming out this morning and sharing with us some of the activities all the activities that you guys will be doing here in the month to come, in the Newtown area. Thank you, and continue to
Make sure
keep up the
you're
good work. I'll pass you and see what's going on.
Okay, Kieran.
Support our fest.
Yeah.
We will.
I will.
Okay, Kieran, have a nice day.
You too.
We'll take a
Okay,
short
bye.
break. Then we come back and wrap up.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Buster, roll it up, leave the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life. Refreshing and nice, and I drink that what we like. Buster, you're full of vibes, living for the color. I know black and white, we do what we like. We live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life.
Rams the good food people always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
3 minutes until 10 o'clock as we get ready to wrap up Island Tea for today, the last day of August. Hey.
Wow. It is the last day of August. We're wrapping up. We've had an interesting discussion this morning. I think it was from some thoughts. I think that, not bad discussion this morning. I do hope that, persons are, having a good day so far. And, tomorrow we're supposed to be having at least 3 guests with us. We have a young lady who will be speaking about her dance recital, Miss Rogers. There is also going to be an appearance from Sajiko, and there's also going to be an appearance from Carnival. So, guys, we're asking that you listen tomorrow, and that you join us. We want to make
Word.
sure. You don't, a lot of things are going to be discussed tomorrow, and so it's going to be a cool Friday afternoon, a cool Friday morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to the Carnival thing.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah. And I think that they're going to release the girls sometime soon, in terms of the girls who are going to be in the Miss St. Kitts Queen pageant this year.
I think they're calling it. What I think they came with a unit. Is it Miss National?
Well, it's Miss St. Kitts and Nevis.
Miss St. Kitts Nevis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, and I just encourage persons to stick and stay. I see that there's going to be another round table discussion with the Prime Minister, and it's going to be on issues.
It's going to be today?
Seemed that way.
Okay.
I saw something circulated.
I really wanted to get in a word and turn the knife on Mitch McConnell today, but I didn't. I mean, I really wanted to fill my meanness quota today with that guy. You saw what happened with him last night, right?
No, what happened?
He's been having these episodes where he glitches, where he's just standing.
Oh, you mean when he made the pause?
Yeah, he had another one yesterday.
Yeah, I
saw even worse, actually.
I saw the videos being circulated.
Yeah,
but
couldn't happen to a nicer turd.
Yeah, I saw the videos being circulated.
Yeah.
Wonder what condition does he have?
No, well, he fell. He had a couple of falls earlier up in the year, and they caused concussions, and so now we're seeing we were seeing these episodes. So I was just gleefully taking it in yesterday.
I see. Wow.
Don't like to be mean, but I'll make an exception for his case. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really mean, man.
I mean, you're heading down the Republican road. I hope you don't come like him.
That's really mean, youngster. That's really mean. Anyway, we're gonna have a discussion for tomorrow.
You can't be too mean. You can't call me mean when this is a guy who would rather you choose. You either lose your house or lose your life. It's because of people like him why Americans don't have universal health care. So trust me. I think I'm probably the nicest. I'm
So
probably
you're
the
saying it's
nicest of
karma.
his detractors.
You're saying it's karma.
Oh, I'm not saying it's. I'm just saying I'm being mean and I'm enjoying it. That's all I'm saying.
We have the spin cycle today?
No spin cycle.
Okay.
I'll go home and have a late breakfast. I guess.
Or maybe an early lunch.
Or early lunch, something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I have some track and field to watch this afternoon.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, Diamond League. You probably don't know what that is, but that's happening in Zurich this afternoon. So some of these people who ran last weekend, they're going to be running. So like Sherika is going to be running the 200 again, and Shakari Richardson who won the 100, she's going to be, so.
Are you rooting for Shakari?
I'm rooting for everybody.
Okay. Whoever wins, wins.
Whoever wins.
I
Yeah.
see.
Okay, so it's time to shut it down for today. So we look forward to tomorrow and Carnival and all that.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out